All right. Welcome to the first edition of DTYD, where we're going to speak briefly about the contents of this box and what derives from it.
Some people maybe you want to explain what the DTYD means?
Death to your demons or death to you demons, if that's what you classify yourself as in life, from a humble standpoint. Right now, I'm here with Chris. I will let him take the floor so he can introduce himself.
My name is Chris, obviously, like he said. I grew up here in the Bronx with Angel. We've known each other for 13 years now. Pretty much consider each other family.
I was there when P. Diddy took his virginity, so...
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that.
Pretty much been through this. We've been through hell and back together. I now live in PA. I no longer live in New York. But me and Angel still keep in contact with each other. We have conversations, deep conversations.
Work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Hopefully this can be one, and hopefully you guys can take something away from this in a good aspect in life.
Or contribute something to it.
Exactly.
Moving forward, thinking about conversations, you commented on one of my posts, which is what led to this kind of meeting. And that comment was, if you can't love others, then you don't have it in you to forgive either. And if you can't forgive, I doubt you can love yourself. A lot of people have different views on love, and loving yourself first isn't always right. You can love a child first, and that will lead you to love yourself in the long run. Different views,
different aspects.
Different views, different aspects. My question to that is, do you think certain people can be forgiven? Right? Within the whole encompassing of the concept of forgiveness.
So as long as the person isn't evil, then you view them as an evil person, or someone who's doing bad deeds, or like someone who just generally you can tell is not a good person, maybe they won't be me. They don't need forgiveness. But someone who made a mistake, or someone who's going down the wrong path, but you know that they can revert back to the right path, maybe you can, not maybe, you should be able to forgive them. And even if you do forgive them, maybe you don't have to sit here and, give them the forgiveness and go back to being like buddy to be our friends before. Mm-hmm. You can sit here and just keep them at arm's length or just cut the communication. But as long as you gave them that forgiveness, you have that clarity within yourself. You're not holding on to any hatred or anger towards anybody, because the whole point is not hating the entire world for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, removing hate from your heart.
Yes, and you gotta remove hatred from your heart.
Okay, that's good. That's a good little viewpoint.
But if they're evil, let's not say evil, because that's just if they're like a truly bad person, then yes, maybe not forgive them. They went out there, committed a crazy crime. I'm not gonna say like, yeah, he should be forgiven, because we all have our views on
on morality.
Yes.
For right now. Now, speaking of two things, I have two follow-up questions with that is, what do you think constitutes as a non-good person or evil, quote unquote, and what do you think morality stems from?
I don't want to drop the word, but let's say someone goes out there and kidnaps a kid, let's say, and does crazy things.
Pedophiles.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't want to say the word, or catch someone in an alleyway, like a female, and
Okay, so like a predator or something.
Yes. Like let's say some shit like that happens. Should that person be forgiven? No.
Okay.
Are they an evil person? Yes.
No, so not to take it to that far in the extreme.
That's where my head, not what I want to say my head would go to, but that's where my mind would sit here and classify someone as an evil person. Now, obviously, I have a judgment, right? Mm-hmm. I can sit here and decide whether a person is evil just off of like actions that they've taken, or not necessarily that led to that, but like let's say someone freaking stabs somebody or freaking murders somebody or something like that. Okay. Or
those are a little bit more subjective too.
Yeah, like
because murder isn't always bad.
Exactly. So it's like.
But okay, so then
as long like let's say someone freaking sat here and murdered somebody, right? I would ask them what was the reason behind it. If they had like a reason like to protect somebody or something like that, I'm not gonna sit there and look at that person and go, yeah, no, he shouldn't be forgiven.
Now I think to simplify everything you just said, to take it from the extreme, because not everybody needs to be a pedophile or a fucking murderer or something to be evil or not good. I would just say someone that just conceals their intentions, right? Because you can even have the bad
conceal their
intentions and what they, from a negative standpoint too.
Yeah.
Right? None of us are mind readers, but you kind of tell through patterns and through little character traits where someone's head may be at in terms of intentions somewhere down the road.
So the sad thing is a lot of people don't catch on to those little signals that,
Well, maybe because they're naive, I would say.
Naive, or they want to be blind to it, or they just don't want to believe it. or things like that, which later on leads to probably
a bigger issue.
A bigger issue down the line for sure. You know, yeah.
All right, that's good. I agree with that. So if that's the case, man, why do you think it's so hard for some of those people to change, if they even can change? I'm under the belief that there's like a circle around us, right? Under each individual person, meaning their potential, up or down. You can change within the confines of whatever that potential is, right? So for example, someone like Jeffrey Epstein, motherfuckers but he had the potential as a billionaire to probably do some pretty good things. But he chose to do bad things. So now, in that same concept, why do you think it's so hard for people like that? Not Jeffrey Epstein.
I was gonna say I wouldn't be able to forgive him because of what he did. But
what about someone
did something?
Jeffrey Epstein of the block, whoever the fuck he does, someone who just has the potential to be good but just chooses to be shitty.
Pretty much, you asking like, can he be forgiven and can he be?
No, do you think that person can be forgiven, and do you think that person can even change? Maybe it's just in their nature.
If he's given the right help and he actually wants to change, I believe a person can change. If that person doesn't want to change, there's no changing that person's mind to want to change. Like I can sit here and say, oh, I wanna change and do something better in life or something worse in life. If I don't put my mind to it, I'm never going to change in order to get to that point. Now, if I put my mind to it, I was like, oh, I'm going to change and I'm going to get this later on in life. I'm going to make sure I have this later on in life and things like that. As long as I change my mindset and commit to it, I'm going to...
And have accountability.
Yes, I'm going to change for the better.
All right.
It's all about how strong will you are.
I feel you. So where I was going with that is that perhaps some of those people were meant to be like that. Maybe that's what their purpose was. Because
that's a crazy purpose.
And then you also understand, like, right, just general, like, we're not going to speak about some of the real mental illnesses that could lead somebody down this path, like a psychopath, a sociopath, or whatever the case may be, right? Like someone who just isn't right there. But that is where I kind of put the emphasis in death to every demon, right? Because
those would be demons that you want.
The demons, the mental demons, the physical demons, the metaphorical ones, the literal ones, however they want to be, however the individual classified, that's what I'm referring to. Because like you said, maybe they're choosing that, or maybe that's just in them, right?
Yeah.
Because we all know this world isn't just sunshine and rainbows. It's not. Life fucks us all. And with life fucking us all, there's no time, in my opinion, right? It's all opinions. There's no excuse for the average individual to just continue to keep going down that way. Unless maybe they're being distraught by whatever mental demons that they have. Or maybe they are just that.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I'm under the firm belief of forgiveness can be given to every single person.
Okay. I mean, we agree initially, or in hindsight, of who should be forgiven and things like that, or why not everyone should be forgiven. So
perfect. Now, with forgiveness, right? How do you think? I know you said in that comment, but how do you think that really correlates to loving someone, loving themselves, things like that?
If I remember, I can't remember the video from the top of my head, but I believe he was talking about he wants to love himself, I believe?
No. The question was, can you love others? Person said yes, right? Of course.
Yeah.
Right? And then I asked him, he said, no, he said, if you can't love yourself, you can't love other people. So I said, then I asked him, what advice would you have? He said, love yourself first and yada, yada, yada.
So the reason I say that is because not everyone can sit here and love themselves immediately right off the bat. You have to learn how to do that. And when I say love somebody else, not necessarily like you can go and sit here and love a friend, love a significant other. I more so say like love your kids first and then you learn to love yourself.
If you have kids.
Yeah, if you have kids.
And everybody has kids.
So if you have someone else that you can love that can help you teach you how to love yourself, and they might not even sit here and like, hey, give you like clues or like, try to help you out in learning how to love. They may help you out in ways that you may not even realize. So that's why I say not necessarily that.
Because everyone isn't perfect and we all make mistakes.
So
And some of the mistakes that people make, they then find it hard to forgive themselves, which then means they can't love themselves. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, but that's why you also have to forgive yourself. As long as you know that you're not a bad person and your intentions are pure, and you're able to forgive yourself.
Right.
And if you're able to forgive yourself, you can then love yourself. But if you so happen to love someone else first, and they teach you down the line how to love yourself, that is also a win-win. The goal is pretty much to get yourself to love yourself. That's pretty much the goal.
From a humble standpoint, of
Yes,
course.
and it's not something that's easy. It's a challenge to learn how to love yourself. Especially for, I was gonna say kids, but we're not kids anymore. For adults like us that are going through life a little differently from each other. Like my life is completely different from yours, obviously, right? Like my challenges, my challenges and my difficulties, and I know yours. Like you're learning, I'm also learning, and it's a process. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have him and have freaking talk to, whenever I need advice and things like that. So I listen, and if I sometimes don't agree with his advice, I try to switch it up a little bit,
to make it fit.
to make it fit my lifestyle and what I'm comfortable doing.
Yeah.
So
Nice. So to kind of move further along that topic,
it would be not finishing high school.
okay, that's nice.
And the reason I say that is because later on, not that I realized how much I needed a diploma or something like that, I got envious of like other people who did finish high school and got to do all these other things, and I realized like, damn, that could have been me, and I chose a different path. I'm kind of over it now. I've learned to
Forgive yourself.
forgive myself for that. I've learned to not take it to heart of like when people give me comment or bullshit for it. Like I don't care. Like I know for a fact that I've already forgiven myself, and I'm pretty much in a position now today where I'm comfortable and I'm going to do better things for myself. So I'm not stressing over other people's opinions and things like that.
Right.
And I've already learned to let it go.
Okay.
So I no longer have any envy towards anybody who like finished high school or anything like that. So
Good that you was at least able to recognize that, and that
it was a mistake.
yeah,
Honestly, I mean, you know the reason why I left.
yeah.
So
And we all make mistakes.
yeah. So
Now, with that being said, what is the most important lesson you learned in life so far? Because you're only how old?
28.
So in reality, you're still a baby. I mean, not a baby in terms of how to function as.
I'm reaching the difficult part of life.
Yeah, about to hit your midlife crisis in like 2 years.
If I haven't already hit it.
If that's the case, I'll share one of mine. Man.
Okay.
And that is to be a fighter. You gotta fight in life, man, even though.
That's your biggest lesson?
Yeah. Yeah, if you live your life every day like it's your last, you'll be surprised by the type of improvements you'll see. And for me, it was just fighting, man. Like times when I just be like, fuck that, and just keep going.
I noticed now that before you would be a lot more conservative with things. Now you're just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Which is, I would see it as a way of you learning how to fight.
Fight back, yeah. It's not that I would give a fuck because I'm more careless, but just more aware of what could happen if I stay timid in certain aspects. And how even that timidness actually cost me a relationship in high school, how not fighting actually cost me a relationship. I was a sucker in a simp before, right? So I bought a chicken for somebody in the rain.
That's a story for another day.
Right.
But I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
You fighting kind of
ruined the direction of that relationship because from her standpoint, it's like
you didn't stand up for me.
Stand up for her, and she probably could have felt like that, but since guys really love me, outside of anything intimate or sexual, so that's why I should kind of learn to actually kind of be that fighter now in some way, shape or form, right? Because of that. So that kind of wraps up, our first edition of DTYD. Remember, guys?
There'll probably be more of these.
Oh, there will be. There will definitely be more of these. Stay tuned. I know I am kind of working on other ways to kind of tie everything together. So just kind of keeping that in the wraps right now.
We have other friends too that are patiently waiting to be in this scene as well.
In this scene, yeah.
So
share their opinions and their thoughts and their viewpoints. But yeah, none of
and knowing them, it'll be a good conversation too. And
yeah,
it'll be a great,
definitely will.
Cause me and Cleveland had.
We need fucking G5. Fucking,
yeah.
Fucking Toto Crazy to show up. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and remember, death to you demons and death to your demons. And good luck to everybody.